Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. The Tigers have received a lot of production at the bottom of the lineup, namely from Omar Infante, who's really turned it up at home on the current homestand. Infante batting .526, a couple of home runs, 7 runs scored. He'll be back in the lineup tonight as we welcome in the Minnesota Twins, game 1 of the series against the Tigers here at Comerica. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us. A fruitful weekend, if not wet weekend, here at the ballpark. Doesn't matter, though. The Tigers swept the Atlanta Braves, and really, Rod, one of the big reasons, the play of Omar Infante.
Well, he's awfully comfortable. That much is for certain. Second tour of duty in a Tigers uniform. Omar Infante just continues to take advantage of every fastball that he gets, and he's also taking advantage of a lot of the breaking balls he's getting as well.
Well, it seems like the Tigers night in and night out are throwing a guy on the mound that you feel real comfortable with. Same story tonight. Max Scherzer already has had a couple of double-digit strikeout nights in this season.
You know, it's been awfully fun to watch the emergence of Max Scherzer since the Arizona Diamondbacks made him a #1 pick a few years back. He has really turned into that ace that they thought that he would be in. He's also taken a major step at getting left-handers out, and the way he's done that with off-speed pitches. Outstanding slider. He has a really good feel for his changeup. He's also tinkering with the curveball these days, and when they start to look for the off-speed pitches, that's when he can simply blow you away with a mid-90s fastball. So Max's numbers are outstanding this year. He needs to go out and pitch another good game here today. The Tigers' last 4 starters that have gone out there have all been really good, and it's one of the reasons why the Tigers right now are sizzling hot right here at Comerica Park.
And Mad Max in search of his 3rd victory of the season here tonight. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios in Mickey York. But coming up tonight, Tigers trying to keep the momentum going. They swept the Braves out of town. The Twins are next. Tigers Twins coming up next. Great night for baseball here in the Motor City. The homestand continues. The Twins are in town, and here is the starting lineup for the Minnesota Twins, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Minnesota tonight will have Dozier, Mauer, and Willingham at the top. Justin Morneau batting cleanup. Chris Parmelee is in right field, and Trevor Plouffe, Arcia, Hicks, and Florimon, the bottom three in the lineup for Minnesota. And we are ready for baseball here tonight as Max Scherzer takes the hill. Tigers and Twins starting up a 3-game set on a gorgeous night for baseball here in the Motor City. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Brian Dozier. Dozier in the leadoff slot these days has hit safely in his last 4 and batting .258. There's the 0-1 from Max. Lifted in the air, right field, and Don Kelly backing up, and Dozier is out, 1 gone. Max Scherzer tonight is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Max making his 5th start of the 2013 campaign. He's 2-0 with an ERA just a shade over 4, racking up lots of strikeouts with that mid-90s fastball and a legitimate swing and miss changeup and slider. Also working on a curveball these days is Max, but he doesn't really feel that comfortable throwing that pitch yet.
Well, here is Joe Mauer batting in the 2 slot for Minnesota. Mauer at .302 this year. And he looks at ball 1 that skips right by Avila. Mauer with a couple of homers. He's knocked in 8. And right now battling it a bit, 0 for his last 16. And hopefully the Tigers are catching Mauer in a good spot. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's it for a strike. 1-1.
Starting to see more and more guys that are capable of hitting in the middle of the batting order bat second for their respective clubs these days. Mike Trout of the Angels. Mauer batting second. Robinson Cano batting second for the Yankees.
The 1-1. On the outer edge, 1-2.
Outstanding backdoor breaking ball there by Max Scherzer to one of your better left-handed hitters in the game.
Scherzer in search of his 3rd win, 2-0 record. ERA a shade over 4. And it's lifted in the air. Left field where Andy Dirks is backing up, and a couple of fly ball outs, 2 gone.
Andy Dirks had a couple of days off. Let's take a look at the remainder of the Tigers defensive alignment, always presented by Beaumont Health System. Don Kelly also out in the outfield today. Torrey Hunter getting a scheduled day off from the skipper Jim Leland. Jim said he'll have to watch Torrey Hunter very closely all season long.
Here is Josh Willingham with the bases empty. Willingham batting .246. He's hit 4 home runs this season. That is strike 1 on the outer edge.
Now, Willingham usually plays in the outfield, but he tweaked his knee a couple of days ago, stealing a base in that series against the Texas Rangers, and he's been the DH the last couple of days for Minnesota.
Scherzer slings one outside, missed with a fastball, 1-1.
You have to be careful with Willingham. He's got legitimate pop in that bat. 35 homers last year, 29 in 2011 as an Oakland Athletic.
Wave and a miss. Another fastball from Max, 1-2. Willingham has 5 doubles, 4 homers this year. Definitely a power threat. They have Morneau waiting on deck. And Max in search of the 1-2-3 first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Twins come in at 11-10. I would say, Rod, a bit of a surprise the way they play.
That's for sure. Yeah, they've got a really good bullpen. They like to get more depth out of their starters, but they're putting the ball in play. They're not striking out as much as they did last year, and they're a better defensive club.
Now the 2-2. Driven high in the air and deep into left field, way back. This one is going to go. It's a home run over the bullpen in left field for Josh Willingham.
Willingham is an outstanding fastball hitter, and he nearly pulls the ball every time he puts the ball in play. Got himself a 94-mile-per-hour fastball from Max, and just didn't miss it. Tremendous power. Right in his happy zone.
So Willingham now has 5 homers to go with his 5 doubles, and he gives Minnesota the 1-0 lead. Justin Morneau hits a ground ball right at the first baseman. Prince Fielder will take it himself, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit, the home run by Willingham. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. And Cabrera, your top 3. Prince will clean up, and Victor and Johnny. Avila, Infante, and Kelly, the bottom 3 tonight for Jim Leyland. And so Jackson will lead things off, facing Mike Pelfrey, who is on the hill tonight for the Minnesota Twins. And Jackson looks at strike 1. AJ 4 for 10 in the series that was just completed against the Atlanta Braves. And he shoots one back up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Leadoff man on. And again tonight the Tigers are facing Mike Pelfrey.
He has won 2 games this year, even though the ERA is approaching 8. That's because his offense gets him about 8 runs of support. Every time he goes out there. He's pitched 17 innings. He's not a strikeout guy. Only 6 strikeouts for Pelfrey, 5 walks, and the opponents are hitting .367 against him coming in. That just went up a tick with that knock by Jackson up the middle.
Austin stands in there now with Andy Dirks batting in the 2 slot tonight. Andy has missed some time with a sore knee, but he says he's about as close to 100% as he has felt in a while.
Good spot for Dirks. The batting in that number 2 spot against a guy that likes to throw lots of fastballs. Jackson on first base has 5 steals. And so this may be the good spot to get Andy Dirks' bat going here in 2013.
He'll line one foul back out of play 0-2. Andy so far at 167, hitless in his last 8 at bats, but in limited time against Pelfrey, pretty good success. 2 out of 3 with a home run. And the 0-2 fouled away again. You were talking about Pelfrey living large. He really has been. When you look at some of the numbers he has received in support offensively, just about 8.5 runs per game. Doug Fisker's on that list, almost 9 runs per game for Doug. The 0-2, bouncing ball left side of the infield. Plouffe has only 1 play. Dirks out by a step.
Let's take a look at the starting defensive alignment for the Minnesota Twins this evening. In the outfield, they've got some youngsters out there. Arcia, just recalled a couple of weeks ago, he's in left. Hicks, you know, he's very young in center field. Parmalee's in right. Plouffe, Florimon, Dozier, Morneau, and Joe Mauer, the remaining defensive alignment here by Ron Gardenhire, the manager of the Minnesota Twins.
So here is Miguel Cabrera. He has hit safely in his last 12 consecutive games. And a very lofty 375 batting average. He looks at strike one as Paul Schreiber goes up with the right hand.
With the way that Jackson has started out the season along with Torrey Hunter, it appears that every single time Miguel comes to the dish these days, there are runners in scoring position.
The 0-1. Well, because of that, he's knocked in 26 runs already this season.
This is not a good graphic for the opposing pitchers. 42 times now that Miguel has come to the plate here in the 2013 season. 42 times with runners in scoring position.
Fouled away.
Which is the most for a guy batting third. Justin Upton, who just left here. A lot of solo home runs for Justin Upton of the Atlanta Braves. Going into that game last night as a number 3 hitter, only 16 at bats for Justin Upton, batting third for his respective teams. So just goes to show you what the tops of the lineups are doing for those two respective clubs, the Tigers and the Braves.
And Cabrera hitting .500 with men in scoring position this year. Here's the 1-2. Fought that one off.
He did something last night as well that he never does, and that's swinging a 3-0 pitch. And when he got this fastball, he drilled it the other way, and it went out just like he was a left-handed batter. No slice whatsoever, directly on the line.
Tigers and Braves had to play through a lot of rain in last night's ball game. They were able to get through it, and the Tigers, of course, got the better of that game and the entire series, sweeping 3 from one of the best records in the National League, the Braves. 2-2 on Cabrera. Would you say that was somewhat of a statement series for the Tigers?
I do believe so, because the Braves came in here and everybody was talking about how good they were and how talented their offense was, and they pretty much held Justin Upton in check as well. He was one of the hottest hitters on the planet, at least as far as driving the ball out of the ballpark.
And the 2-2. Missed tie, 3-2. Well, as we check out the Central Division standings entering play here tonight, the Royals with 13 wins, the Tigers a half game back, and Minnesota hanging in there 1 game over, despite the fact that their pitching staff have some lofty numbers, although they've pitched a little bit better of late. So it's 3-2. Inside, walked him. Tigers have 2 men aboard now. That'll bring up Prince Fielder. Early trouble for Mike Pelfrey after Willingham got him a run with a homer. 22 RBIs for Prince so far this year. That is in for strike 1. Twins have allowed 23 first inning runs so far in 2013, so they have put their pitching staff more times than not in a tough position. Of course, they've done that to themselves, allowing the runs. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. They've had to play catch up a lot of nights.
And that is something that the Tigers have been very good at this year. And Jackson, when he gets on that very first inning, he usually touches home plate.
Jackson led it off with a single, advanced to second and a ground ball. And Cabrera has walked. Popped up right side of the infield. Dozier is under it. Infield fly rule. Batter automatically out. 2 gone. Well, we talked about Cabrera and Fielder knocking in all these runs. Well, Jackson has been the recipient. He has come around to score 25 times this year, leading the American League. Nate McLeod has had kind of a resurgence in his career.
He really has over there in Baltimore.
On that list as well. Here is Victor Martinez. 207 batting average for Martinez. Tigers trying not to waste a first inning opportunity here against Pelfrey. Ball one. We're talking about how the Twins starters have pitched a little bit better of late. 13 straight scoreless innings for their starting staff coming in. One and 0 on Martinez. That's it for a strike. 1-1. I would say the numbers are a little bit misleading on Victor, especially the last, I don't know, week or so, because he seems to have hit the ball a whole lot better of late.
He has been scoring up some balls, but he's been hitting them right at the defenders, which obviously is part of it. But if he continues to swing the bat and keep that same approach that he's had lately, that batting average will get right up there around 300.
Ball inside. 2-1 on Martinez.
Victor was out once again today, taking some early batting practice with Lloyd McClendon. Alex Avila was also out, taking some early swings.
And now Pelfrey wants his catcher Maurer to come out. Big spot for him early on here because he's just gotten Prince Fielder, but he faces a guy who 2 years ago was outstanding in these situations. And here's what we were talking about in terms of Victor in his last 5 games. The average much better, driving in some runs, and an opportunity to tie this one up here with a base hit. Now the 2-1. Strike call. 2-2 on Martinez.
Good pitch. Fastball count real nice. Breaking ball by Pelfrey on the black outside.
You're not kidding. Right on the line. Pelfrey signed by the Twins as a free agent to a 1-year deal in the offseason. Just missed. Martinez took a close one there. 3-2. And Victor watched that ball all the way into the glove of Joe Mauer. Peralta would be next. First of 3 between these two teams. They met to start the year at Target Field in Minneapolis. Minnesota won 2 out of 3 to start the season. On 3-2, it's fouled back out of play. Pretty good for Victor. 333 with a full count. League average about 205. Once you get 2 strikes in the count, regardless, the league average is not very good. Trying to pick up Jackson and Cabrera. Runners again will be on the move here on 3-2. Flared in the air to shallow left. And that'll be caught on the run by Arcia to end the inning. Tigers threaten, fail to score though on our way to the second. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Chrysler, imported from Detroit. And by Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. Back here at Comerica Park, where the temperature tonight is in the mid-60s, a far cry from the type of weather we've had so far in the homestand this year. And the home schedule right now, Scherzer trailing 1-0. As we go to the second, it's fouled back out of play by Chris Parmelee.
Parmelee, one of those guys that usually doesn't swing at the first pitch. On average, he sees 4.5 pitches per plate appearance.
.217 batting average. Parmelee battling it right now, 3 for his last 19. Max sails one outside, off speed, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's that curveball that Max just is not quite comfortable with yet. But it's not all bad to throw it early in the game. You don't want to get beat with that pitch, though.
Now the 1-1. Scherzer 8-1 with a 2.86 ERA in his last 11 starts here at home. He is dominated at Comerica. Ball low. 2-2. And Max again piling up a bunch of strikeouts. Twice already he's gone double digits. 11 strikeouts against Oakland, 12 against Seattle. It'll go foul down the left field line. 2-2 the count stays on Chris Parmelee.
A couple of starts ago against the Seattle Mariners, when Felix Hernandez was towing the rubber for the Mariners. One of the best pitch games you'll see in a while.
Got him, strike 3. Parmelee takes it looking, first strikeout of the game for Max. Hey, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Premium McWrap. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Something's got to give here tonight. Max, one of the best strikeout artists in the major leagues these days, and the Minnesota Twins, they have not been striking out all that much this year.
There's Trevor Plouffe. Strike 1. Plouffe has hit safely in his last 3. He'll shoot that one up the middle and into center field. That'll go as a 1-out single. Second hit of the game for Minnesota.
Since the beginning of the 2012 season, Max averaging over 11 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is the best in the majors. Some really good pitchers on that list. Strasburg and Yu Darvish.
Here is Oswaldo Arcia, who was recently called up, batting 194. That's line foul.
This kid started in A-ball last year. He was one of the best players in the Florida State League. They moved him to Double-A. This year he started in Triple-A and didn't stay there very long, and now he's in the show. He's very young too.
It's only 21, native of Venezuela.
He can hit. Outstanding numbers last year, and a few minor league stops that he made.
Here's the 0-1. Another one foul.
I guess it makes it a little bit easier if you're the general manager, Terry Ryan, and you know you have a young kid like Arcia coming. You have Aaron Hicks, who's the starting center fielder, coming. You can trade a Denard Span and a Ben Revere to get some pitching.
Well, Arcia last year hit 17 home runs in his stops between A-ball and Double-A. Here's the 0-2.
Quick bat. That was a 95-mile-per-hour fastball by Max on an 0-2 count, and Arcia wasn't fooled one bit. Good swing at this heater. Might want to go to that fading changeup or get that fastball up a little higher, one of the two.
Garcia won't be 22 years old until May 9th.
Comes that change piece. Get it down.
Again, fouled back out of play. Well, you mentioned the Twins haven't been striking out a lot. In fact, the second fewest strikeouts in the major leagues. Only Texas has struck out fewer times. So they are indeed putting the ball in play. Max, pretty good ratio so far. After 24 pitches, only 5 balls. Plouffe at first base. And a bouncing ball toward third. Cabrera will charge. And he doesn't get him. He took that extra double pump, but it cost him. Arcia beats it out.
It appeared to be a routine ground ball. Arcia reaching out and putting the ball in play. Miguel did take one extra step, and even with the really good arm that Mickey has, was not able to throw Arcia out.
So the Twins now have 2 aboard. Infield hit for Oswaldo Arcia. That'll bring up Aaron Hicks. Batting 118 in his rookie season. Hicks, to start the year, was batting in the leadoff slot for Minnesota. They have lowered him in the lineup to 8. And now Scherzer wants a chat with Alex Avila.
Aaron Hicks had a monster spring, and that's one of the reasons why he made the team coming out of spring training to start in center field and lead off. But he has really struggled in the first 3 weeks in the big leagues, although he is starting to put the ball in play a little bit more frequently. Does have 11 walks, so he is displaying some patience.
Well, he had to face Justin Verlander in his first big league game on opening day, and Justin punched him out 3 times. Down the left field line, foul.
He just got his first extra base hit last Saturday, a couple of days ago.
Well, it began the year 2 for 48. And since then it's gone 6 for 20. So he has picked it up. And I guess there comes a point, Rod, where no matter how talented you are and how well you play in the outfield, you do have to produce something offensively.
And they won't let this young man get buried up here.
Waving a miss. 0-2.
If it gets to a point where he is struggling too much, they will simply send him back down to the minor league so he can get some more experience.
So Scherzer now has him down in the count 0-2. 2 on 1 out. We're in the second. 1-0 Minnesota on the Willingham homer. And it gets away from Avila. Both runners will move up. Wild pitch.
Alex had no shot at getting his body over in front of that changeup to keep it in front of him. Usually when Max throws his changeup, it fades the other way. At that time, it kind of went down and in instead of down and away where Avila wanted it.
Second and third now, and so Max needs a strikeout here. And it's fouled straight back. Try to get 96 by him, and Hicks got a piece of it. Jeff Jones, Tiger pitching coach. A lot of talent to work with in the starting rotation this year. And by and large, they have been very good. From Verlander down to Scherzer and Fisker and Sanchez. Porcello pitched better his last time out. Hicks able to fight that one off. Hicks had a big year last year in the minor leagues. He stole 32 bags. He scored 100 runs. And as Rod mentioned, had a huge spring camp. And so because of that, he was able to make the Twins out of spring training. But we've talked about the slow start he's gotten off to. Plouffe and Arcia The base runners. It's bouncing ball right side. Going to get a run in. Scherzer will cover the bag for the out. So the wild pitch proves costly as Plouffe comes in to score, and Hicks gets his 8th RBI.
You got to get on your horse if you're Max to beat Hicks to the bag. Hicks has got some good speed. Max wasn't sure whether he touched the base the first time, therefore he went back to reach for it again, but he still got the out call from the first base umpire, Chad Fairchild.
Got the edge of it. 2-0 Minnesota. 2 outs now with the man at third, and here is Pedro Florimon. Waving a miss, 0-1. 95 right at the letters. Florimon batting .243.
These days, just about every single fastball that Max throws is in the mid-90s, whereas last year he came out and he was tinkering with a two-seam fastball, about 89 to 91 miles an hour. Didn't get off to the best start, and he scrapped that pitch in a hurry and got back to that mid-90s heater.
Apparently a nice play up there. And one happy Tigers fan. Oh, 2 on Florimon. Just off the plate. Looked like Paul Schreiber thought about it, but did not ring up Florimon, who had a pretty good series in that opening week series against the Tigers. 3 for 8, couple of RBIs.
Minnesota grinding out some at bats here in the second inning against Max.
Yeah, that they are.
Fouling off some 2-strike pitches.
Good stop by Avila, saving a run. Garcia almost came too far down the line. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He came down so far after Avila gets over to block this ball. I thought Avila may have entertained the thought of throwing down there and getting him.
And the 2-2. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Scherzer had a fairly snappy 12th pitch first inning. And he's at 24 here in the second. Top of the order, Brian Dozier waiting on deck. Twins have a 2-0 lead early on here. Game 1 in this 3-game series. Now the 3-2. Bouncer right back off Scherzer. He locates it. And he'll throw him out. That'll end the inning. Hopefully Max is all right. He appears to be. 1 run in the inning on a couple of hits. 1 man left. of the second here at Comerica Park. And the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on the Twins starting rotation. Here are some of the numbers they've put up so far and their American League ranks.
Well, they need the rotation to step up a little bit more than it has so far this year, because they have a really good bullpen. But the flip side of that is you don't want to overwork your bullpen.
And all of a sudden that good bullpen will not be a very good bullpen.
That's right.
If they log too many innings. Strike one on Johnny Peralta. He's followed by Alex Avila, then Omar Infante. Ball high, and the count evens now at 1-1.
Pelfrey not going to overpower you. Fastball goes anywhere from 89 to 92 miles an hour. He'll also cut it, sink it. Has a curve, slider, and a changeup.
Here's the 1-1. Johnny at 295. 3 out of 11 in that series against the Atlanta Braves. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Not many of the same guys in this current rotation that were in the rotation last year. Diamond would be the only one. Scott Diamond.
Scott Diamond will face Sanchez in the series finale. Slow roller to short. Florimon. 1 out. It's going to bring up Alex Avila.
One of the things that the Twins wanted Mike Pelfrey to concentrate on in the outing here today was to speed up the pace a little bit. It's not so bad when he's in the windup, but when he's pitching in traffic, and he's pitched in a lot of traffic this year, there's been a lot of base runners. And when he's been on the mound, he just slows the game down, and they want him to pick it up in those situations too.
Remember a couple of years ago when the Tigers had Brad Penny, he was extremely slow. They got him to try and speed it up a little bit. And he did a bit, but I guess there's only so much you can get or do. Pelfrey facing Avila. Bouncing ball to short. Florimon to his left. Bobbles still has time. Got him by a step. 2 up, 2 down, a couple of ground balls.
It's another area where they have gotten better this year. That's up the middle with their defense. Florimon and Dozier, the second baseman, and also the center fielder Hicks.
It's going to bring up the hottest Tiger batting in the 8 slot, and that would be Infante, who's 6 for his last 12, had a huge series against Atlanta. Takes ball 1.
He also wears Pelfrey out. Literally. He's hitting .500 against him.
Rolled foul, 1-1. And it's not a small sample size either. It's 30 at bats. Pelfrey was with the Mets. Made only 3 starts for the Mets last year before requiring Tommy John surgery in May. Off the end of the bat, rolled slowly towards second. Dozier flipped for the out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for the Tigers, and you're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
To you by Charter Internet, and the Minnesota Twins not going to get any speeding tickets this year. Ben Revere with 40 steals last year, Casilla 21, and Span 17, all playing for different teams these days. They're on pace to steal just 65 bases this year after stealing 135 last year.
So they're getting it done in different ways as Brian Dozier leads it off. 2-0 Minnesota. We're in the third. And Dozier looks at strike one. Max has been strike one on 9 of the first 10. Dozier flied out his first time up. Drops down a bunt. Going to go foul, though. 0-2. Scherzer gave up the home run to Willingham in the first, and an RBI ground out to Hicks in the second. 0-2 on Dozier. He's been on base in 10 straight. He's done a really good job out of the leadoff spot. .389 on base percentage batting leadoff. He's hitting much lower when the Tigers first faced him earlier this year. And he sends a ground ball to third. Cabrera, quick throw, got him by a step. One away. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. We check in with Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thanks. Boy, those Yankees 15-9 coming in, second place in the American League East. There's a strike call.
If there's one guy in baseball you can throw the first pitch in any of his at bats right down the middle, there's a pretty good chance he's going to take it. Joe Mauer. He takes the first pitch 96% of the time.
Here's the 0-1 from Max. Fouled away, no balls, 2 strikes.
I'll give you one guess at the player in the American League that is the least patient at swinging at the first pitch.
Least patient in the American League? Should I know this?
Yeah, Josh Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's always hacking at that first pitch.
No question about that.
0-2.
He swings 50% of the time, so flip a coin with him.
Bouncing ball right side. Easy play for Infante. 2 gone.
And a guy like Joe Mauer, even though he's an outstanding hitter and puts the ball in play, if you're a pitcher and you know he's taking, you can throw it right over the plate because he's not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. You're not worried about him hitting a home run against you.
You've got to have some supreme confidence in your abilities to take that many first pitches, and usually they're strikes.
Yeah, he does.
Because you know more times than not you'll fall behind. Here's Willingham. Homered back in the first. Ball 1 for Max.
He got a 94-mile-per-hour fastball that kind of leaked right back over the heart of the plate. Avila was set up outside on that fastball, and Max missed his location, and you can't do that to big, strong power hitters like Willingham.
1-1.
Willingham can't do much with that last fastball.
Last year, 110 RBIs for Willingham, and that was good for third in the American League. Second year of a 3-year deal with Minnesota. Checked it, strike call.
He also got a silver slugger yesterday in their home game afternoon tilt against the Texas Rangers. Best hitting left fielder last year in the American League.
Here comes the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's what he did last season. 35 homers to go with the 110 RBIs. Grounded foul.
Here's the homer in the first inning. Avila wanted the fastball away. He did not get it away, and Willingham trotted around the bases.
Fifth home run of the season for Willingham. That made it 1-0, and then the Twins got another run of the second to go up 2-0. Here's the 2-2. Twins have felt pretty comfortable in this ballpark. In fact, at Comerica last year, or I should say the last couple of years combined, 6 of 9 victories in this ballpark. There's Morneau waiting on deck. And they took 2 out of 3 against the Tigers at Target Field earlier this year. And again, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Max got him that time in a 1-2-3 inning. Scherzer has his second strikeout of the evening. Twins go in order, and we go to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Minnesota. He starts it off as the Tigers bat in the bottom of the third. And Pelfrey misses with a breaking ball. 1-0. Kelly, then Jackson, and then Dirks. The Twins have 2 runs, 3 hits. Tigers no runs, 1 hit. Kelly strokes one in the air to center field, and the left fielder will come over. Arcia in the gap to cut it off, and 1 gone. So Pelfrey now settling into a nice little groove. That's 6 in a row he's retired. That'll bring up the top of the order now, Austin Jackson. Jackson had a base hit back in the first. Tigers got him as far as second base, but could not score him. And the average now at 295 for Austin. Ball 1 to Jackson. He's had 8 multiple hit games this year, and he has really formed a terrific duo at the top of the Tigers lineup with Torrey Hunter. Torrey gets the night off tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Hunter. 1-1 pitch. Jim has said a couple of times this year that he is really going to watch Hunter, 37 years of age, and doesn't want to overuse Torrey, and Torrey's gone up to such a terrific start this season. Oh, inside to Jackson. And that hit the bat, or did it hit his hand? Jackson wants to take first, and I don't believe Paul Schreiber is buying it. Here comes Jim Leland.
Sounded like it hit the bat.
Agreed. It was really loud.
And Jackson's probably happy it hit the bat and not his hand. That is something that Pelfrey is not afraid to do. he is not afraid to crowd the right-handers and the left-handers inside with fastballs.
Here's a better look. Right up the bat handle. I don't think it ricochets nearly as far if it hit him in the hand. So it had to hit the bat. Leland and Jackson tried to plead their case, but they're not going to win. I think if you're Austin, you got to do a little bit better of a sell job.
That's right.
Maybe fall down on the ground, start rolling around a couple times. Ouch, it hurts. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson on the homestand batting .316. Ooh, just off the plate. 3-2. Dirks waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. Florimone's been busy. He'll handle another opportunity. 1 gone. 2 gone.
Let's get you caught up with the game summary for those of you just joining us. It was Josh Willingham, a solo shot in the first inning, and they also scored a run in the second inning. Plouffe singled. He was on third. Aaron Hicks, ground ball to the right side of the infield. Plouffe came home to score. That's all the scoring here today. Minnesota leading the Tigers 2-0.
3 assists now for the shortstop Florimone. Andy Dirks looks at ball 1. 7 straight retired by Pelfrey. And he bounced out his first time up. Showing bunt, and he takes it low. 2-0. Two and 1. Getting Dirks to get back to where he was offensively last year would certainly lengthen this Tigers lineup. And with Torrey out of the lineup tonight, Dirks, who hit second a little bit last year, is back up there tonight. But that knee has had something to do with the fact that Dirks has gotten off to a slow start. And he drills this one in the air into right field. Hit well. Harmony back, looks up, and gone. 2-out solo shot. Andy Dirks, his first of the year.
Really good at bat there by Andy Dirks.
That's a good sign.
It's a 2-1 count, and he got himself a breaking ball that really didn't do a whole lot, but the swing was short, and it was quick, and it was compact, and it was tremendous concentration. And Andy Dirks plays long ball here tonight.
Fifth RBI of the season as well. Tigers are on the board.
That's a big hit for Andy. You know, it made him feel really good to do that.
That snapped it 0 for 9 as well. And there's the big smile. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike called on Cabrera.
Jim was talking today about Dirks and taking some batting practice yesterday, and said that yesterday was the best that he has felt since running into that wall down in spring training in Lakeland.
Well, it's amazing how sometimes even the most innocuous plays can sometimes just kind of linger. I mean, we did that game, didn't we, when he ran into the wall?
Yes, we did.
And it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. He would come out of the game, but it kind of bothered him the rest of camp, and then it kind of lingered in the regular season. But he seems to be over it now. Here's the 1-2. Cabrera fights that one off. Miguel had a base on balls in the first. He has a 12-game hitting streak. And if you're wondering, the longest hitting streak in his career was 20 in a row. That came in the 2010 season. So he's well shy of that.
Came in batting .375, second in the American League.
high fly ball center field. Aaron Hicks has plenty of room out there. That'll settle into his glove for out number 3. However, the Tigers able to get on the board. Andy Dirks, his first of the year. 2-1 Minnesota. Solo shot into the seats in right. And back to the hill goes Max Scherzer. He will face Morneau, Parmalee, and Plouffe. And that stroke toward left center field sinking and caught on the run by Dirks. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Justin Morneau acts like he's in a hurry when he gets in that batter's box. He's made 2 outs and he's only seen 2 pitches.
Dirks sliding in from his left field position to make that play. Here's Parmalee. He struck out. Almost back in the second. Ball 1 to Parmalee, who is now 3 for his last 20. And because of that, his average is down to 213. 6 RBIs this year for Parmalee. Ball outside. Showed some power last year in his time between the minor leagues and the big leagues. 22 home runs. Twins have a few first-round picks in their lineup. Former first-rounders. Parmalee is one of them. Plouffe, Hicks. It's popped up foul. Cabrera giving a look. Two and one. Scherzer gave up single runs to the first and second, got him 1, 2, 3 in the third. Strike called. 2-2 on Chris Parmalee. Just off the outer edge. Almost snuck in that backdoor breaking ball. Count fills at 3-2.
Nice frame job here by Avila, grabbing it and then ever so slightly pulling it right back to that corner. But he couldn't get the call there from Mr. Schreiber.
In the air center field. Jackson is on the move. He's on his horse and he's not going to get it up against the wall in right center. Parmalee takes the turn but holds. It's a 2-base hit. The ball just kept going to the gap.
It's a changeup that stays up and it's drilled by Parmalee. You talked about the 22 homers that he had last year between AAA and the majors. So he does have some pop in his bat. He entertained the thought of going to third base to try to get a triple, but Jackson was able to get to that ball in a hurry and get it into the cutoff man, and he wisely held up at second, did Parmalee.
Twins have their 4th hit of the game. Trevor Plouffe. Strike 1 on Plouffe. Scherzer has done a really good job of first pitch strikes in this game. Came into this inning 10 for 12.
That's why that balls to strikes ratio is so good. 58 total pitches thrown by Max, 44 strikes.
There's another one. Only 14 that have missed the strike zone tonight for Scherzer. Plouffe had a single, scored a run back in the second. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Scherzer has another strikeout, his 3rd.
Tigers have 5 starting pitchers that aren't afraid to throw changeups to right-handed batters. I was talking to Jeff Jones, a pitching coach, about that today, and it used to be a taboo that as a right-handed pitcher you would not throw changeups to the right-handed batters because you usually make a mistake with that pitch down and in, and that's where a lot of right-handers do damage. They pull that ball, and a lot of big strong guys hit it out of the ballpark. But more and more pitchers around the majors now not afraid to throw that change piece to the righties.
Here is Arcia at an infield single back in the second. And there's the strike.
And if you think about it, Verlander does it. Sanchez a bunch. Porcello has started to do so, along with Doug Fister.
Well, I guess if you think about it, if you have a good enough changeup and you set the pitch up well, why not throw it? Righty or lefty?
Tom Glavine, when he was pitching for the Braves, and he was obviously a very good pitcher. He had 300 wins in his big league career, but it really wasn't until he started throwing changeups to the left-handers, of course he was left-handed too, that he started winning a bunch of games.
The 0-1. Did he go around? Sure did. Chris Conroy said he went. Pretty close.
It was close.
Oh, 0-2 on Arcia. Singled in his first big league at bat. That was on April 15th when he was called up. Rated as the 3rd best prospect in the Twins system coming into this year. And he cues that one down the left field line. That is going to drop fair. This will get a run in. It rolls to the corner where Dirks picks it up, and Arcia has himself an RBI double.
Talked about the fact that when he was up there last time, Max was able to get ahead of him with 2 strikes and tried to throw a fastball right by him. Arcia had a good swing at it. Now, this is a 96-mile-per-hour fastball sliced down that third base left field line. He drives in the 3rd run of the game for the Minnesota Twins.
Back up to a 2-run lead now for Minnesota. And Arcia gets his 7th RBI. That's his 1st career double. 3-1 Twins. Here's Aaron Hicks. Produced an RBI with a ground out back in the second. 3 runs, 5 hits now for Minnesota. The Tigers run on 2 hits.
Max has had no trouble whatsoever getting ahead of the Minnesota Twins hitters this evening, but he's had a difficult time of putting them away. And 2 of the 3 runs they've scored here tonight have come after 2 are out.
25 pitch second inning was his longest so far of the night, 64 total. Oh, 1-1 on Hicks. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tigers bullpen in pretty good shape. There will be no Papa Grande tonight. And Jim said he would not use him, and we didn't get any definites on anybody else down there while we were there anyway. He was still waiting on a couple of guys. Albuquerque and Smiley, to be exact.
Here's the 1-1. Well, we're all excited about the return of Papa Grande, and he's pitched well in his return. But Jim Leyland echoing the sentiments again before the game that, look, he didn't pitch all that much. In fact, he didn't have a spring training. So he wants to be very careful with how much he uses him early in the year.
Yeah, you can't run him out there 3 days in a row.
2-1 on Aaron Hicks. Checked it. Strike call. 2-2. You're talking about Max not able to finish off hitters in this game. 4 of their 5 hits have come with 2 strikes. And he's got a 2-2 count now on Hicks.
He's the best strikeout artist in the majors too right now is Max Scherzer. Has not had a problem putting hitters away.
Fouled off.
There's been a lot of those today. Reminds me of a Verlander start. As many foul balls as the Minnesota Twins hitters have been able to foul off after 2 strikes on him. Jeff Jones said Verlander good to go tomorrow. Had that little blister issued 5 days ago, but he says the big ace will be out there tomorrow.
It's good news. An ERA of under 2 this year for Verlander. Got him. Strike 3. Hicks punched out of there for strikeouts for Max. When we get to the bottom of the 4th, the Prince will lead it off. Fielder will start things for Detroit. It's now 3-1 in favor of Minnesota. Tonight, before Cabrera and Fielder, who are the last pair of Tigers to each have 20 or more RBI within the season's first month? The last pair of Tigers to have at least 20 RBIs each within the first season or the first month of the season. That is your question. Try and think of those 2 Tigers. Fielder will lead things off. Fielder, Martinez, Peralta here in the bottom of the 4th. And the Twins back up by 2 now, 3-1. Prince looks at a ball, 1-0. Fielder popped up with 2 men on in the first inning, 0 for 1.
Pelfrey made a good pitch to Prince. It was a fastball that was inside that kind of tied Prince up, and he popped up in the infield.
Ripped down the right field line, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fielder 22 RBIs, Cabrera 26 RBIs. Pacing the team in that category. Here's the 1-1.
Based on the numbers, you would think that sooner or later they're going to get to Pelfrey. And he was able to get through the first 3 innings. 441 batting average this year against him. 355 innings 4 through 6. So not much better.
Right at the first baseman, Morneau. 1 out.
Which means that sooner or later they're going to get to him.
Here's Victor Martinez. Pelfrey, the former New York Met. In fact, a lot was expected of Mike Pelfrey in his days with the Mets. 9th overall pick in 2005 out of Wichita State University.
Big boy.
Yeah, and they say he lost a lot of weight in the offseason. Came into spring camp much lighter than he was in previous years. He's 29 years old now. And Pelfrey, I guess it's you don't hear guys admit it often, but he did say that when he was with the Mets, he pretty much knew he was going to go out every 5th day, and really perhaps didn't work on his conditioning as much as he should have, or getting himself prepared to make his starts as much as he should have. It's flared in the air to center, right at Hicks. And out number 2. Well, you can have your picnic or party at an upcoming Tigers game. Group picnics and party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more get discounted tickets to select games. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com. 2 up, 2 down. Here is Johnny Peralta. Slow roller left side of the infield. Florimone. And Pelfrey's going to have himself a quick 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. On to the 5th we go. Arby's new King's Hawaiian roast beef sandwich. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Back here in the Motor City, downtown Detroit, on a nice night for baseball. Temperature right now still in the 60s. It's 3-1 in favor of the Twins.
You ever been on that Ferris wheel?
One time, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. How about you?
I've never been on it.
Yeah, they shoved me in there. It was pretty cool. I didn't really want to go, but they made me. Scherzer back to the hill. Is Pedro Florimone to lead things off.
I thought for sure you were going to say no.
I fooled you, didn't I? Threw you for a loop. Are you a like a roller coaster type guy?
Not even. Not even close.
Theme park type of guy? No, none of those.
Theme park, but not roller coasters.
Demon drop?
What a bunt.
Yeah, forget about it. Scherzer stumbled as he tried to shovel that ball to first base.
Really wasn't a whole lot he could do with that. He probably would have been better off trying to go down with the glove and then shuffling it to Prince Fielder. But an outstanding bunt here by Florimon. He takes some time. He's in the batter's box. He places it perfectly. And Max gets over there in a very awkward way, trying to get the out, but was not successful doing so. I mean, for you kids at home that like to bunt the ball in that direction, you cannot do it any better than Florimon did right there. And the key to it all is staying in the batter's box until contact is made, so you can place it where you want to, and then you utilize your speed.
6 hits now for Minnesota. Top of the order, Brian Dozier. Time called as Scherzer takes too long. One single for Florimon. Dozier is 0 for 2. Ball high. Told you that the Twins have won 6 of their last 9 here, and in that stretch they're averaging over 10 hits per game. And they've got 6 already tonight.
It's a good hit and run count now if Ron Gardenhire chooses to put a runner in motion.
Scherzer thinking along the same lines. They slow toss back to first base.
Dozier has 1 sack bunt this year, for those of you interested in that stat.
Fly ball and a ground out tonight for Brian Dozier. Runner goes, shows bunt, throw down, the tag, not in time.
It was not a hit and run. It was a straight steal. But take a look at the hitter here. You don't see a lot of hitters doing what Dozier did right here. He simply squares the bunt and simply pulls the bat back in the eyes of Avila. That keeps the catcher back. He can't cheat very much. And sometimes that's the difference in that guy being thrown out at second base and then being safe.
First steal of the year for Pedro Florimon. Now the 2-0. Strike call, 2-1.
And Florimon had a really good jump. And you can tell it was a straight steal. He didn't look in at home plate at all.
Twins had 3 runs, 6 hits. Tigers 1 run, 2 hits. Dirks has homered in this game. We'll get back out of play. 2-2 on Dozier. Now the numbers look like this on Max: 75 and 56 of which have been strikes.
Sometimes the best pitch to throw in a situation like this, when there's nobody out and you know that that hitter's trying to hit something to the right side of the infield, is a breaking ball. You might get a swing and miss for strike 3, at the very least. A ground ball to the left side of the infield, which would prevent Florimon from advancing.
3-2. Dozier a fly ball and a ground ball, 0 for 2 tonight. Joe Mauer waiting on deck. Twins got a run in the second, 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth as well. Swing and a miss.
A good change up there by Max. Down and away. Take a look at the high speed pitch that Max has thrown here this evening. 96. He's touched that several times. 79 with an off speed pitch. We thank Xfinity for those readings.
Max now with 5 strikeouts. Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer skies one in the air, left center field. It'll be Jackson calling off Dirks. 2 gone. How about that? He swung at the first pitch.
He'll do that on occasion, especially with the runner in scoring position.
Now Willingham. Feast or famine tonight for Willingham. Homer and a strikeout. Home run back in the first came with 2 outs and the base is empty. It was his 5th of the year.
One of the things that you have to do when Willingham is standing in the batter's box, because the spray chart tells us as much, you have to try to the best of your ability to make him hit the ball to right field or something to the right side of the infield. When you allow him to pull the ball, that's when he does major damage. This is what I'm talking about. Not one hit so far this year to right field.
Well, that's pretty telling right there.
You have to try to. And especially the way Max has been commanding the baseball this year. Max hasn't been walking that many people. He knows exactly where he can throw it and when he wants to throw it to a certain location.
Now it's 0-2. The home run that Willingham hit was to left field. It cleared the Tiger bullpen area out there in left. No balls, 2 strikes. Morneau waiting on deck. Scherzer 5 strikeouts, trying to strand Pedro Florimon at second base. And the 0-2. Got him, strike 3. Caught him looking. 6 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. To Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back here at Comerica Park as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Right now the only run for the Tigers courtesy of an Andy Dirks home run. And they have not been able to get to Mr. Pelfrey. We'll see if that changes here in the 5th inning. Alex Avila will lead it off. And Avila takes ball 1 outside. Infante and then Kelly 7, 8, 9 in the Detroit lineup. Only 2 Detroit hits, a single for Jackson and the Dirks homer. And Pelfrey came in with an ERA at just about 8. Strike called on the outer edge, 1-1. Got the Tigers in order back in the 4th. Two and 1 the count. In his last 3 starts, Pelfrey has given up 5 runs, 4 runs, and 6 runs. And so far tonight, just the 1. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on Avila. We try to hold up, but Alex went around. Fill the count 3-2 on Avila.
Pretty good fastball to hit right there. Alex was a little undecided though in the 3-1 count. Must be thinking a little bit too much up there these days.
3-2 pitch to center field. Gonna drop. Base hit.
Omar Infante's contact to damage ratio this weekend against his former team, the Atlanta Braves, was off the chain. Homered Saturday, and he also homered Sunday night.
And a driving rain last night. His homestand has been a really good one. 10 for 20 with 2 home runs. 5 RBIs as well in the 6 games. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Omar batting .313. He went through a hot streak to start the year, had a 9-game hitting streak in early April. Then he went through a cold spell on that West Coast swing, and now he is heated up again.
The entire team was pretty much in a cold spell when they were on that West Coast trip through Oakland, Seattle, and also Los Angeles against the Angels.
Here's the 0-1. 1-1 on Infante. Tigers, for the most part this year, have been one of the better offensive teams in terms of team batting average, and they came in at .279 today, which was tops in the American League, ahead of Boston. Ground ball short. This looks like 2. Florimone from the seat of his pants starts a 6-4-3. Infante just nipped at the wire. Hit it hard, but right at him.
And ball hit right on the screws by Infante. Florimone gets up, and then he's on his heels, but he's able to give Dozier a nice feed. Dozier didn't put a lot on his throw. And back toward first base to Morneau, and because of that, Infante almost beat that.
Ooh, that was close. Just got him. Base is empty now with 2 outs, and here is Don Kelly. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Kelly flat out his first time. Scatters that one foul out of play, 1-1. Kelly getting the start in right field in this game for Torrey Hunter. Batting in the 9 slot for Jim Leyland. 2 for 7 on the homestand. Fouled away.
One more look at Omar running down the line to see how close that play really was.
Throw just beat him there. Barely. Here's the 1-2. To right field. That one might find a gap, and it will. It's going to go all the way to the wall. This might be a triple. Kelly is on his way to third. And he is in there sliding with a 3-bagger.
Don Kelly continues to make the most of every opportunity that Jim Leyland's giving him in the month of April. But once this ball finds the gap in right center field, it's a triple for Don Kelly. He didn't even have to look over to Tom Brookins, the third base coach, to decide whether he could come over or not. The play was right in front of him.
First triple this year for Kelly. Now we'll see if Jackson can cash him in here with 2 outs.
I've never really understood that play right there where you're the base runner, and once you round first base and you can see the center fielder and then you can see the right fielder, and they haven't picked up the ball yet, but yet you're looking at the third base coach to see whether he wants to tell you to come over or not. Don did it perfectly. He made up his mind right now he could do it.
He never once looked at third, did he?
Don't need him on that play.
Ball 1 to Jackson. Tigers tonight 0 for 2 with men in scoring position. AJ had a single back in the first.
Tigers need one of those huge 2-out knocks right here.
The 1-0. Ball high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Jackson homered in last night's game as well.
3-run shot.
Big fly.
Miserable playing conditions last night, and just the opposite here tonight. Now he's ahead 2-0. In the air to right field. Harmony back to the warning track. And that is that. Tigers get 2 hits. Strand a man at third.
Twins got on the board first. It was in the first inning. It was Josh Willingham playing long ball to left field. They also scored another run in the second inning. The Tigers got on the board themselves in the third inning. It was a solo shot by Andy Dirks, but one more run scored by the Minnesota Twins in the fourth inning, and the score is 3-1 Minnesota's favor.
Meanwhile, Max Scherzer back at the hill. And he throws strike 1 to Justin Morneau. Hitless in 2 at-bats, Morneau tonight. And a ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Minnesota Twins are starting a long road trip. In fact, their longest of 2013. They're playing 10 games in 11 days. Breaking ball missing again. They've got a 4-game series at Fenway Park coming up.
Ugh, those are never good.
Can you imagine? 3-game series at Fenway is always long enough.
Especially the way Boston's playing right now.
Yeah, good point. Good pitch, outer edge, 2-2.
Not going to get hurt with this 2-1 fastball. at 93 miles an hour.
Into the glove and out of the glove. Morneau stays alive. He'll be followed by Parmalee and Plouffe. Scherzer has 6 strikeouts in this game. Morneau came in 5 of 10 against Max in his career with 3 homers, but 0 for 2 tonight. Pops this one up middle of the infield. Peralta and Infante. Peralta. 1 gone. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Here it is 3-1 in favor of the Twins as we play in the 6th inning. Chris Parmalee stands in with 1 out. Strike 1. Parmalee had a double to start a rally in the 4th inning. Arcia was able to knock him in with 2 outs to give Minnesota their 3rd run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ratio is still good, but 90 pitches now here in the 6th inning for Scherzer. That's his total. Golf back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Chris Parmalee. Tigers have 2 more against the Twins. Then it's on the road. Houston and Washington. The next road trip. Bouncing ball right side. Infante a couple of steps to his right. 2 gone. Here's Trevor Plouffe. Singled for 2 tonight for Plouffe, plus a run scored. Bender is in for a strike. Over the last 2 years, Plouffe has hit 26 home runs. 20 of them have been solo homers. And he takes one outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Plouffe himself a former 1st-round pick. Actually came up as a shortstop before taking over 3rd base for Valencia, who's no longer with the club. That shot in the air toward right field hit pretty well. Donnie Kelly will race back there, edge of the track, and a 1-2-3 inning for Max Scherzer. Bottom of the 6th coming up. That question was, before Cabrera and Fielder, who are the last pair of Tigers to each have 20 or more RBIs within the season's first month? And that would be Tony Clark and Travis Fryman back in 1997 doing their work at Old Tiger Stadium.
TC did major damage from both sides of the play. Look out, Dirks.
He got himself a bunt single. Look at Dirks, his second hit of the night.
I see you, boy. Jim was right. That knee must be feeling a whole lot better. We saw Flormone bunt last half inning for them. It was a good bunt. This was a really good bunt by Dirks as well. He gets it, he deadens it, and by the time Trevor Plouffe gets there to pick it up, no play for Dirks, and he's running pretty good down that line too.
And he must be feeling better. And now he's going to set up Cabrera, then Fielder, then Martinez. Leadoff man on for the Tigers here in the 6th. It's a 2-run game. Cabrera had a base on balls back in the 1st, fly out in the 3rd. Ball 1 inside. We showed you the numbers earlier. Most teams have gotten to Pelfrey through 6 innings. That's when the numbers are really good. The first 3, and then of course the second 3 innings. The later in the game the numbers got better for Pelfrey, but this would be a good spot. The 1-0. 2-0 on Miguel Cabrera. 3 runs, 6 hits for Minnesota. The Tigers a run on 5 hits. Both teams have left 3. Prince on deck. Three and 0. Can't imagine a much more uncomfortable position for a starting pitcher than to be behind 2-0 on Miguel Cabrera.
Because if you're Pelfrey, you were watching that ball game last night,
right?
And Cabrera swung at a 3-0 pitch and hit a big fly. So if you're Pelfrey right now, you don't know if Miguel's going to take it or if he's going to swing at it if you throw it over the heart of the plate. And the way that Miguel is locked in, if you throw him a strike, he's going to hit it hard somewhere whenever he swings the bat.
Ooh, he took a strike there.
Throw him a breaking ball.
3-1.
Which is a good pitch by Pelfrey and a good take by Miguel.
On the edge for a strike. In the air, slicing away from the right fielder Parmalee, who's on the charge. So is Dozier, and Dozier very nearly got there. That would have been one whale of a play. Crowd's starting to come alive now for the first time really tonight.
If you're Jim, you can start Andy Dirks here on the 3-2 count. Nobody out. You have enough trust in Miguel that he's not going to strike out. And if Miguel happens to hit something on the ground, you would stay out of the double play. Pelfrey threw from the years 2008 to 2012, 61% of the outs were on the ground thrown by Pelfrey.
Runner goes. Ground ball foul. Well, time now for the Farmers Insurance report card. And Miguel Cabrera, in his career against the Twins, spanning 97 games, awfully gaudy numbers.
He has worn out a lot of teams in the AL Central.
90 RBIs in 97 games.
Ridiculous.
See if he can add to those totals here. One single by Dirks. 3-2 on Miguel Cabrera. Ball 4. 2 on with nobody out. That is the second walk issued by Pelfrey, and both of them have been given to Cabrera. Here comes Rick Anderson. Sticky situation developing now for Pelfrey. And as they talk about it, we remind you that Saturday, May 11th, the Tigers face the Cleveland Indians at 7:08. Be sure to arrive early for the special pregame clinic hosted by the Tigers and their players and coaches. 866-66-TIGERS the phone number, or visit tigers.com online for more information.
This much I can promise you, as Paul Schreiber goes out to the mound and to break up the conversation between Anderson and the infield. They're not talking about a bunt here. That's for sure.
No doubt about that. The Reddick and Dunsing warming up now in the Twins pen. Trouble now for Pelfrey here in the 6th. Oh for 2 for Prince. Driven in the air, center field, hit well. Hicks on the run, still going back, track, and that ball is over the wall. It's gone, a home run, a 3-run shot for the Prince. Whatever Rick Anderson said, it didn't work.
You knew it was just a matter of time before they got to Pelfrey here tonight. Prince usually doesn't hit him this direction, but it's a little tailing fastball away from him, and tremendous concentration, and he drove that ball into the Minnesota Twins bullpen. Massive strength displayed there by Prince Fielder.
Number 6 on the year for Prince Fielder, and the Tigers have taken the lead. Their first of the night. It's 4-3. Here's Martinez. Ball 1 to Victor. 2 homers tonight for the Tigers. Dirks and now Fielder. And Prince ups his RBI total to 25. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Bunt single is how it all got started. And then Cabrera walked. And Fielder goes deep. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 1-2 on Victor Martinez. Tigers have evened up the hit totals at 6 apiece. They lead 4-3. Bouncing in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out here in the 6th. And the lead has disappeared for Ron Gardenhire and the Twins. Navigating through the middle of this Tigers lineup, no easy chore. Here's the 2-2. Off the plate, 3-2. Waiting on deck, Johnny Peralta. Victor swings and misses. 1 gone. Well, this duo, Rod, we figured was going to be pretty good, and they have been.
51 driven in for Miguel and also Prince Fielder. Chris Davis, Adam Jones in Baltimore off to really good starts, and Brandon Phillips and Todd Frazier have driven in 45 for Dusty Baker's Red Legs.
That was the first strikeout of the night for Pelfrey. Johnny Peralta, the batter, he's 0 for 2. A couple of ground balls. Johnny has hit both ground balls to the shortstop Florimon. Bends away from a breaking ball strike, make it 0-2. Pelfrey trying to shake off the effects of the Fielder home run. This will be his 90th pitch of the night. And it's drilled in the air toward left. Arcia is on the run. That is up against the wall. Johnny on his way to second. He's in with a double.
With the left-hander coming up here, Ron Gardenhire may have to go get Pelfrey. It looks like he's getting a little tired. It's an 0-2 breaking ball to Peralta, and he hangs it, and Peralta drills it for a stand-up double. Not a good pitcher by Pelfrey.
It's another extra base hit for Detroit, and that's going to signal the end for Pelfrey. And Minnesota goes to the bullpen. Wallside Windows pitching change now. 4-3 Detroit. Well, right now, Prince, the man of the hour, his 3-run shot has given the Tigers their first lead of the night. Is 4-3 in favor of Detroit. They've out-hit Minnesota 7-6. And the Twins have had to go to the bullpen. And they will bring out Brian Dunsing.
Dunsing having a pretty good year. And so far, 2.57 ERA. He has 4 holds. He's been in 9 games. This is the 10th. Opponents hitting 286 against him, and he's pretty much manhandled left-handed batters throughout his entire major league career. Lefty is hitting only 218 against Brian.
Here is Alex Avila with a man at second base, and a wave and a miss, 0-1.
And Dunsing last year split time between the starting rotation and the bullpen. His numbers were much better out of the bullpen. Pelfrey doesn't know what hit him.
No, he doesn't. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs earned. Still responsible for the man at second base. That's Peralta. Foul tip into the glove, 0-2. Avila with a single and a ground out. Action in the Detroit bullpen. Smiley is the lefty. Albuquerque is the righty. Here's the 0-2. Just off the plate, 1-2.
If we see Smiley here tonight, it will be the first time this year Smiley has pitched in back-to-back games. He pitched yesterday, saw 2 batters, and he struck both of them out.
Jim said before the game today, still trying to sort out that bullpen, even with the return of Valverde. And the one thing he did say, which was kind of telling, is we have a bunch of guys right now that are 1-inning pitchers. The 1-2, he went around, strike 3. And they are trying to figure out which guys might be able to go multiple innings.
Smiley for sure
No doubt.
is one of those guys.
So here is Infante. 4-3 Detroit, and the home run by Prince Fielder. Twins bullpen in their last 11 games has held opponents to a 192 batting average.
Can't believe that they are pitching to Omar here with the base open, 2 outs, as hot as he's been on this homestand for Detroit.
Strike 1. Omar hit into a double play back in the 5th, but he hit the ball extremely hard right at the shortstop Florimon.
You also have the left-hander Don Kelly in the on-deck circle, but that doesn't mean that Torrey Hunter wouldn't pinch hit for Don Kelly. And I'm sure that's probably what Ron Gardenhire is thinking about.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Keep Torrey on the bench until he surfaces as a defensive replacement, possibly, if the score stays as close as it is right now.
Swing and a miss. And Fonte now down on the count, 1-2. Ryan Dunsing, as Rod mentioned, pitched a little bit in rotation last year, 11 starts, trying to shut things down for the starter Pelfrey. Dunsing now 30 years of age, trying to strand Peralta at second base. And the 1-2. Bouncer right back to the mound. Dunsing will handle this one, and that'll end the inning. Good inning for the Tigers. Good inning for Prince Fielder. 3-run homer for the Prince, and the Tigers have their first lead of the night. Our Scott's fan poll question of the game. Here's what we have for you tonight. Which professional Minnesota team is the biggest rival of Detroit sports? Is it A, the Twins, B, the Vikings, C, the Timberwolves, or D, the Minnesota Wild? Enter your vote by texting ACE, then a space, then the letter answer to 37338. Final results headed your way on the post-game edition of Tigers Live. Well, the Tigers, courtesy of Mr. Fielder, now have a 4-3 lead. Max Scherzer back to the hill. Tigers have out hit the Twins 7-6. And as we go to the top of the 7th, Arcia will lead things off, and then Hicks, and then Florimon. Max had a 1-2-3 6th inning. Fouled off 0-1 on Oswaldo Arcia. Infield single, RBI double tonight. Good night for Arcia. Don't you just want to stick a G in front of his last name?
Yeah.
It just seems like it needs one.
Yeah, it really does.
0-2 on Arcia.
He can hit, though. Told you if you weren't with us earlier.
Waving a miss. Got him that time.
This young man started the year in A-ball last year. Finds himself all the way in the big leagues this year. Max racking up a few strikeouts. And with that changeup, Max's numbers this year are getting better and better against left-handed hitters. It used to be a time where opposing managers, they would go and find every single left-hander they could find and to put him out there against Max. But the way that he's starting to throw that changeup and that slider lately, and left-handers don't have their way against him as they did earlier in his career.
Here's Hicks batting left-handed. 0 for 2 with an RBI tonight for Hicks. And the 1-0. Strike called. 1-1. Max now has retired 7 consecutive Twins. He has hit the 100 plateau. Only one really lengthy inning, that 25 pitch second. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 the count. Hicks drafted out of high school in Long Beach, California. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. And while he has been struggling, he has been taking his walks 11 this year, which is second highest on the team. Here's the 3-1. 3-2.
If he's going to stay in the big leagues, he's going to have to hit. That is for sure. But the Minnesota Twins have been really pleased at the fact that he hasn't taken some of his bad at-bats out to the center field, out to the defensive end. He's been outstanding in center field.
Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Well, the strikeout's starting to come now for Max. That's 8.
He got Arcia to swing and miss at a changeup. He comes back with a 93 mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle, right by Aaron Hicks.
Two up, 2 down. 8 straight retired by Scherzer. Gave up some early runs, but his teammates have come back, gave him the lead. Here is Florimon. Fouled off 0-1. Bunt single, stolen base, but did not score back in the 5th.
He's had a busy day. A lot of ground balls in his direction.
Former Oriole. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Scherzer's high watermark this year is 105 pitches, or it was coming into play, and now he's thrown 106. Smiley, Albuquerque still heating up. Here's the 0-2 coming home. Outside 1-2, 97.
That's his best fastball of the evening. He's got a lot left in his tank.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off-speed pitch. 9 strikeouts for Max. He's retired 9 straight as well. Tigers up by a run.
Boy pans on earlier in the game where he hit a solo shot, but back in the 6th inning, Andy Dirks led off with a bunt single, and then Miguel Cabrera was walked on a 3-2 fastball that missed by Mike Pelfrey, and that set the stage for Prince Fielder to go opposite field into the Minnesota Twins bullpen for a 3-run home run. That's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch.
So the Tigers up by a run, go to the bottom of the 7th. Don Kelly leads it off. Kelly, then Jackson, then Dirks. Triple in his last at bat. That came in the 5th with 2 outs. He did not score. And a ball low and outside. 2-0 on Don Kelly. Tigers with 2 long balls in this game. A triple. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Popped up foul, back out of play. 2-1. Kelly. Dunsing came on to get the final 2 outs of the 6th. Still out there here in the 7th. Lifted toward left, but foul. 2-2 the count. Austin Jackson waiting his turn on deck. Tigers would like to extend their lead here. And the 2-2. We'll get back out of play. The attendance here tonight, 29,878. And for the first time in a while, fans showed up at the ballpark with decent weather. Had a lot of rain over the weekend here in the Motor City. Bounce again, 3-2 on Kelly. First of 3 here against the Minnesota Twins. Jim Leyland's club sweeping the Braves out of town. which put the Tigers 3 over the 500 mark coming in, 13-10. Swing and a miss. And Dunsing disposes of Kelly. One gone here in the 7th. Hey, see the Tigers battle the Twins tomorrow at 7:08. Take advantage of the Super Spring Special. Upper box seats are half price. That's right. Only $13. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Here's Austin Jackson. Strike one on AJ. 1 for 3. Jackson had a single in the first inning. Jackson atop the American League in runs scored with 25. And he shoots one in the air to right field. Harmony will go back to the warning track. 2 up, 2 down here in the Tigers' 7th. And so Dunsing now has retired all 4 that he's faced. Here is Andy Dirks. A glimpse tonight of what Dirks provided last year for the Tigers offense. 1 single and a homer. It was the bunt single that started the 3-run rally in the 6th. Really all it takes for you is to lay 1 down, and all of a sudden the third baseman is in tight. Opens up the left side of the infield.
Slap it by him next time.
There's Plouffe on the grass. Outside, 2-0. Three and 0 on Andy Dirks. He's taking 3-1 up with the right hand goes Paul Schreiber. And he was able to snap an 0-for-9 slump with his home run back in the 3rd, a solo shot off the starter Pelfrey. Big Miguel waiting on deck. And there's a walk. So Dirks on base for the 3rd time tonight. Ron Gardner coming out. They're going to go back to the bullpen. It's going to be it for Dunsing. Josh Renicky will make his way in. It's another Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. 3 in this one as we play in the 7th. Fielder had the key blow, a 3-run shot, putting the Tigers ahead. Dirks has had a big night. So has Max Scherzer. Hadn't walked anybody, and 9 strikeouts in this game. Those are the headlines for this one. Meanwhile, Josh Reneke will come in from Minnesota.
I mean, Reneke pitched in Colorado last year and had pretty good numbers pitching for the Rockies, and there are a few pitchers that have good numbers there, but a 169 earned run average, and the league hitting just 220 against him. 7 strikeouts and 5 walks. 5 walks. The walks were an issue for Reneke last year.
Here is Cabrera, and he looks at a strike. Well, Reneke last year pitched in 88 2/3 innings, which led all major league relievers. So he got a lot of work last year. 4th most in Colorado team history. Now the 0-1. Fouled back out of play. 0-2. Here's how Cabrera stacks up through April 28th of this year and last year. RBIs are up, average up. He won the Triple Crown last year. And the 0-2. Ground ball to short. Florimon handles another opportunity, and they'll get the force. That'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, 7 in the books. We go to the 8th.
Today's whiff of the game is brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and Max has a total of 9 strikeouts in the game. A lot of his strikeouts have come on off-speed pitches, whether it be the changeup, whether it be the slider. And then when they start to look for the off-speed pitches, he is dialed up all the way to 97 miles an hour. And he's been pretty much 50-50 as far as his mix is concerned. Breaking balls, the fastballs. In the 108 he's already thrown here tonight.
Well, if he gets another strikeout, it'll be his 3rd game already this year with 10 or more punch-outs. Hasn't walked anybody in this game, and now he goes to work in the 8th with a 1-run lead.
That's a telling stat for Max. I mean, the fact that as he has matured as a major league starter, he is really commanding that strike zone.
First pitch outside to Brian Dozier.
20 of 27 in first pitch strikes, which is not bad at all.
Now the 1-0. There's a strike. Well, if you include tonight's numbers, Scherzer now with, let's see, 45 strikeouts and 7 walks. Here's the 1-1. Ooh, 2-1.
And we told you earlier that this Minnesota Twins team as a whole came in making some pretty good contact. They don't strike out that much.
Smiley has been warming up. Little slice back out of play.
I guess, Jim, I don't know if Dozier gets on, we'll probably see Smiley, but if he doesn't get on, he'll probably let Max finish this inning.
You got Mauer a lefty, you got Willingham, and then you got Morneau. Lefty, righty, lefty. After Dozier. Low and away. Now it fills at 3-2. The 113 pitches, a season high, but look at the ratio. Attacking the strike zone with first pitch strikes. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss.
Old country hardball. 94-mile-per-hour heater to give Max strikeout number 10, and here comes the skipper. He threw this one right by Dozier.
Third game this year of 10 or more, and listen to the ovation that Scherzer gets. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. Well, Max Scherzer, an outstanding effort here tonight with 10 strikeouts, no walks in 7 1/3. And this is his third game tonight with double-digit strikeouts. Pretty impressive. He'll hand the baseball over now to Drew Smiley. Bases are empty, and he delivers strike one to Joe Mauer.
Drew Smiley has been simply dominant this year against left-handed batters. Left-handers are 1 for 18 against Smiley with 9 strikeouts, and you can see he has a total of 19 strikeouts this year with just 4 walks against him.
Fouled back out of play. Now it's 0-2.
This is not your everyday left-handed hitter, though. Left-handers usually don't bother Joe Mauer.
3 batting titles in his back pocket. He's hit 300 in 6 of his 9 years in the major leagues.
Jim used Drew yesterday. A couple of batters against the Atlanta Braves. He struck out both of the batters that he saw last night. It's the first time Jim has used him in back-to-back games this year with no Jose Valverde available this evening. Benoit would close should it be a closing situation.
Smiley with the 0-2. Bouncing in. He retired 6 of the first 7 batters. He's trying to get through the 8th here.
Really the only bad outing that Smiley has had this year was in Minnesota at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's about it.
That brutally cold day where he really didn't have much command at all.
Now the 1-2. Bouncing ball right side. Infante to the grass. Mauer is out. 2 gone. Hey, by the way, make sure you visit the life-size Tigers located in the Jefferson lobby of the Renaissance Center. For more information on April in the D, visit foxsportsdetroit.com. Life-size bobbleheads of Verlander and Cabrera on display at the Ren Center.
We only have a couple more days left.
Winding down
in April in the D.
Might have to extend it to May in the D.
Why not?
Here is Willingham.
You got one job here if you're Smiley. Obviously you want to get Willingham out, but you better keep him in the ballpark. Keep him in the ballpark.
Willingham has fanned his last 2 times up. Strike called. 1-1. Look at these numbers. 0.87 ERA in his last 5 outings. Opponent's batting a touch over 200. Here's the 1-1. Sales high. 2-1. Scherzer tonight goes 7 1/3. He struck out 6 of the last 10 that he faced to finish with the 10 strikeouts on the night. Popped him up. Straight up. Right side of the infield. Prince to the grass. Hitting over. 1-2-3 go the Twins. What a job tonight by Scherzer. Big night for Prince Fielder, who takes a big rip on the first pitch from Renicky here in the bottom of the 8th. Right up the mask of Joe Mauer. Tigers lead at 4-3. Fielder, Martinez, and Peralta here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers trying to find a little breathing room here. Fielder had the 3-run shot off the starter Pelfrey in the 6th. Gave the Tigers their first lead of the night. Here's the 0-1. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again off of Mauer. Staggered it. 1-2.
He's not feeling real good about right now.
Right off the wrist. Then the mask. Here's the 1-2. Rolled foul. There is Joaquin Benoit. He will get an opportunity to close this game. Jose Valverde not available tonight. The 1-2. High fly ball, shallow center field. In comes Hicks. 1 out. What's going on in the Subway winning box score tonight? Career homer by Fielder. Solo homer. Big night for Dirks. He has scored a couple of runs. Kelly has tripled. Victor Martinez 0 for 3 in the game. Couple of fly balls and a strikeout. Flared back out of play. 0-1. Renicky took over in the 7th. Got the final out there. Got the first out here in the 8th. Renicky's father is Gary, who played in the major leagues. His uncle is Ron, who manages Milwaukee. There's a strike call. 0-2.
His dad was a pretty good hitter. Right-handed batter with some pop in his bat. Played on those good Baltimore Orioles teams with Ripken and Eddie Murray.
Little pop up, shallow left. Arcia.
Managed by the late Earl Weaver.
Two gone now for Johnny Peralta. He used to love watching Earl Weaver come out and argue. He'd flip his hat around, kick some dirt on home plate.
He was funny. He put on a show.
Johnny had a double back in the 6th that chased the starter Pelfrey. Bender is in for a strike. Twins will have Morneau, Parmalee, and Plouffe in the 9th inning. Another breaking ball, another strike. 0-2.
I guess the million-dollar question is, does Smiley start the 9th inning against the left-handed Morneau?
Very good question. One that is up to Jim Leyland. Ground ball left side. Florimone to his right. And that is that for Detroit. They go 1, 2, 3. Hang on to your hats. Looks like Smiley is done, maybe. I don't know. Minnesota Twins. It is 4-3 in favor of the Tigers. And here's the answer. It looks like Drew Smyly is out to begin the 9th inning. Smyly got the final 2 outs of the 8th, and now Justin Morneau will face him. Morneau, Parmalee, Plouffe due up here in the 9th. The 1-run Tigers lead. Swing and a miss. Ooh, big rip there by Morneau.
Morneau has swung at a lot of the first pitches he has gotten today, whether it be from Max Scherzer or this one from Drew Smyly.
Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2.
I thought Smyly pitched yesterday, but Smyly pitched on Saturday.
Correct. And getting another opportunity to pitch here tonight. And so far so good. Ground out. Pop up in the 8th. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing in. 1-2. On deck is Parmalee. High fly ball hooking toward the line and back out of play. Well, before the arrival of Jose Valverde, it really truly was closer by committee for the most part. Benoit got most of the opportunities, but he has shared a few, and now Valverde has kind of solidified that spot. And the 1-2. Ground ball to first. Prince hugging the line will make the play himself. One gone. Jim Leyland firmly planted on his seat. As Parmalee stands in. Back-to-back lefties here in the 9th. Parmalee had a double back in the 4th inning. Ball 1. Parmalee this year, though, is hitting .333 against lefties. Shoots that one back out of play. 1-1. Max Scherzer tonight went 7 1/3 with 10 strikeouts and did not walk anybody. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A little bit outside. 2-1.
And Ron Gardenhire could have gone to his bench. He does have Ryan Domint on his bench. Backup, not a backup, but he plays catcher, some first base, some outfield. He's got some pop in his bat too.
Driven in the air toward left. Dirk's going back. Gonna have room. 2 gone. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Detroit Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com. And Smyly doing his job. Will have the baseball taken from him now. Joaquin Benoit will come in to try and get the final out. We'll be back.
Lead here in the bottom half of the 9th inning, and let's take a look at this Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Andy Dirks got it going for the Tigers early in the game. He had a solo home run, and then he had a bunt single later in the game. Both those came off Mike Pelfrey, who went to the same college as Andy Dirks, Wichita State. Both still live in the area.
Well, Trevor Plouffe will stand in now with 2 outs. The last chance for Minnesota. And Joaquin Benoit delivers high, 1-0. Numbers on Mr. Benoit. Trying to get that final out. Trevor Plouffe 1 for 3. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to short, should do it. Johnny has it there. Tigers win it tonight. A 3-run homer by Prince Fielder gave them the lead, and the pitching did the rest.
Tigers stayed patient today, even though they didn't have a lot of great at-bats against Mike Pelfrey, the start of the Minnesota Twins. They scored a few runs when they really needed to.
It's a good win here tonight. The last 15 straight Twins were retired to end this ball game. There's your final score, and we're back with more.